Yes, because I'm new. Councilmember Gakin, I'll come back to him. Councilmember Hodgkin. Here. Councilmember Hubbard. Here. Councilmember Lawrence.
Here.
Councilmember Mackey.
Here.
Councilmember Morrison. Here. Councilmember Peratini. Here. Councilmember Prado.
Here.
Councilmember Swarb. Here. Councilmember Taylor.
Here.
And Mayor Orr. Excuse me.
Okay, can we just stand for the pledge of allegiance?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
President swore.
Motion to approve tonight's agenda. Second.
Is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All right, thank you. And we have a presentation tonight from Harbor Regional Health. There we go.
We brought the gang.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Go ahead.
Thank you, city council members. I appreciate the opportunity for us to,
Turn the mic on. It's
You got it.
one. There you go.
is that on?
Now it is.
How about now?
Yes.
Okay. Thanks for the opportunity to come here in front of you and do a quick presentation. Of course, most of you know it's just a hospital, but we're much more than that. We're a clinic. We're probably one of the largest employers in the whole county. And I will tell you that we spent time with high schools, college, doing nothing but educating and trying to get people into healthcare. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to John Shaw, who's can we get the next slide? Let's see if
What did you put up?
I think the next one is, of course, you and the district, or maybe not.
Oh, goodness. I think there's an AI generated photo of me. It's not really me. You'll tell. We got it? Good. You're not missing anything. But I am your public hospital representative for District 5, which is Aberdeen. And there's several of us here. Scott Dilly is here as well.
Yes. I don't know if I'm in the slide deck.
You're in
either,
the
'cause I
slide deck.
haven't seen
You're
it.
in the slide deck.
Yeah,
here.
you will be.
And there are two at-large commissioners. I serve as one of those, and then David Quigg is the other at-large. So we serve the whole district.
Right. Andy Bakar from Hoquiam, Lynn Cernata from the beach. Who'd I miss?
Michael.
Michael Bruce from Westport
And Chris Thomas.
and Chris Thomas from Montesano. See, I got my helpers here. I was gonna read off the screen. We doing all right?
Yeah.
No worries. So anyway, probably while we're filling time here and vamping, I know you guys have all had multiple discussions recently about economic development. So we really want to make sure you understand that if you go look right now and you do an AI generated search, HRH is the largest employer and tax base in Grays Harbor. And so while we're constantly working on improving the hospital and delivering healthcare, we also are part of that economic engine for the community and the whole county. Did I say that right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I would say a hub of healthcare. If you think about really the hospital, we provide, even though this will be in the slide deck, if it shows up, we're a level 3 trauma center. We're the only one in the county. The next one is St. Pete's. That's a level 2. Capital, I believe, is still a level 4 trauma center. So you have within Aberdeen a hub of healthcare. We provide specialty care from cardiac services to orthopedic surgeons to general to urology services. So we have all the services plus primary care. We have primary care clinics as far as Westport, soon to be Ocean Shores. And the goal is to have one further up on the district up towards Pacific. So I will tell you that we have one in Montesano as well, and those are all primary care providers. I'll wait just a second to see if it we'll run, and if not, I'm gonna let colleagues talk a little bit about some of their slides. Even though you can't see them, you'll have to manage it. Still no?
No.
Okay,
It was really cool.
it was, anyway, the best part is you get to see them in your packet. I'm gonna go ahead.
It'll be in your packet.
Yeah.
You can go through.
I'm gonna go ahead and introduce Elizabeth Chimperly. She's my executive director for the clinics and physician services. Elizabeth, you want to talk about prompt care?
Good evening. So I oversee all of our outpatient clinics. One that's important to us and is continuing to grow is our prompt care clinic. Currently, that's located at what used to be known as St. Joe's. We used to call it the East Campus. Now it's known as the Warren Building. We provide services there Monday through Friday. And we'll be looking to expand those services as we move into a new building in the next 3 to 9 months, and grow that service line to be able to be open to the citizens of Aberdeen and our county here. So what else would I? anything else? Oh, Dr. Wong, talk about cardiology services. Yes.
Oh, here we are.
Okay.
I'll wait just a second. So I know this is hard to see because depending on where you're sitting, but that is who makes up the commissioners for the hospital district. You can see John.
Yeah, all right.
And Scott. Next slide. So when we talk about all the services that Harbor Regional Health does, these are all the services. So we have 2 diagnostic imaging centers. I'll let Dr. Wong talk a little bit about our brand new MRI. We have orthopedic outpatient as well as 24/7 orthopedic surgery if you need it in a trauma situation. We do OB 24/7. We have an infusion service. And the cardiac service lab, Dr. Wong will talk about as well. And the goal is to expand cardiac services in the county. We all know that most people that suffer from cardiac issues, they either have to go all the way to Olympia or go even further up the I-5 corridor. And of course, the emergency department, hopefully none of you have had to use it, but it's always good when it's there. And again, we're a level 3 trauma center. And what that means is your ER has the access of 24/7 general surgery. So if you have an appendectomy, 24/7 OB, 24/7 orthopedic surgery. And you can kind of see on the other side are some of the other services that we provide and some of our partners. Again, internal medicine, pediatrics, and we also have a Harbor Crest, which is our chemical dependency unit. So we provide those services as well as an inpatient and then / into an outpatient. And we do work with the tribe, Cornell Tribe, with their wellness center as well. So we kind of share some of those patients they don't do inpatient, we do inpatient, and we definitely have the relationship on the outpatient side. I'm going to go to the next slide. This is prompt care. Elizabeth talked about it. Hopefully your imagination was as good as that photo or the slide, but if it's not, that's kind of what we do at prompt care. The new location will be closer to the hospital. So if someone needs the emergency room and don't really know which way to go, they can go to prompt care. And if it's an urgent or emergent situation, they'll refer them straight to the emergency room. Next slide. I'm gonna let Dr. Wong talk just a little bit about this. Thank you, Dr. Wong.
Good evening. So as some of you may know, we have had a cardiac cath lab open since March of 2020. And we were open for mostly things like diagnostic services and acute heart attacks. And then in early 2024, which was last year, we were able to open it to do elective procedures. So not only can a patient get a diagnostic catheterization, they can also get an elective procedure, which was a big deal. It has allowed our patients to stay in town, not have to go out of town. With that, we've also expanded services. So we do have cardiology services within the clinic. So there is a cardiologist, or I think we will have a cardiologist 4 days a week, probably Monday through Thursday, it looks like. And they are able to see patients on the outpatient basis and then set them up for outpatient procedures as needed. Our hospital has always provided other services like echocardiogram, EKG, Holter monitoring, stress testing, et cetera. So But the cath lab is a very exciting place, and we definitely have had a lot of folks interested in even applying to get privileges at our hospital so they can do some of their cases there. So pretty excited about that. Next slide. The newest addition to the hospital has been the new MRI. Previously, the MRI, which was getting quite old, was located in the diagnostic imaging, the outpatient office. This last year, it was moved in-house. So that's been very exciting for our patients in the emergency department, as well as any of our inpatients. What's great about this new machine is, number one, it's very quiet. I don't know if any of you have ever been in an MRI. Many of my patients say it sounds like you're inside a washing machine. The first time I was in there, I don't think they thought that they should tell me this. Maybe they thought a doctor should know. And I was in there thinking, it sounds like the machine's gonna break, but it didn't. But but apparently now it's much quieter. I was not lucky enough to be one of the I guess, test subjects when they were first setting it up. So I don't know, but other people have told me it's very quiet, very comfortable for the patient. Also with new technologies, it's not on the slide, but they do use a lot of artificial intelligence in order to get the images, reconstruct them without a lot of noise. And so the experience is faster as well. And that's what patients want. They want something that's comfortable, not too noisy, and get out of there quickly. The other advantage of this new MRI is it does take larger patients. We have found in healthcare, unfortunately, that our patients are getting larger and larger. Previously, we have had no way to image a person that was up to 500 pounds, and this one does allow us to do that. So it's been a fantastic addition, and I would say many of our physicians are very excited that it's in-house now.
Chris?
So I'm just going to close this. Our social media is a great place to find out stories about what's going on at the hospital. And it's also the best place if you need to know hours, like if something's happened and a clinic needs to be closed or the hours need to be changed or something like that. We will post that on social media. So if you need to know those sorts of things, it's always a good place to go check the day of. We have a really good community that follows us on there. And so if you follow us on Facebook or Instagram, thank you. Appreciate it. So if you want to scan these, you can. And the main part is just, it's an easy place to find out current information. I do my best to keep up with the website and make sure like all the hours are updated and things like that. But on a short scale, if somebody, calls in the morning and says, hey, we had our provider call out, we're going to be closed, it'll end up on social media before it makes it to the website. So if you're thinking you need to go somewhere, good place to check. And it's full of awesome stories about all of our people.
Great, and I'll just stay with a close. If you have any questions, let us know. If you think of questions afterwards today, let us know. I mean, we're your hospital. I mean, we really are, like I said, one of the largest employers, and we work with the college, we work with the schools. Our goal is to grow the community for selfish reasons as well as yours, I'm sure. But that's really our focus, is to grow the community and grow the services. So, you have any questions? Or any of us, not be me. Yeah, Liz.
Thank you for being here.
Sure.
Having a hospital in town is really critical to our economic development. I think having a hospital is very attractive to people considering moving here from other places. And so, increasing your capacity and the kinds of things that you offer is really, really wonderful. At one time, the designation of the hospital changed, and I think that reduced the number of beds that were available. Is that still on track to stay that way, or are you looking at increasing capacity?
So the hospital, you're right, is licensed for 140 beds, but that was with the two facilities together. So when we focus most of our inpatient on just what we call the West Campus, but we know it as community hospital. We could only put up probably right around an inpatient stay, probably around 75 patients, maybe 80, depending on how but you would team them up. So I don't know if any of you spend time in a hospital, but having a partner in the room sometimes is inconvenient. So we tried to go to kind of more of a single patient room, if you will. We don't usually get to our limit of what they call 49 inpatient beds, because they're also what we call observation beds. And I know you won't know the difference if you're in the hospital unless somebody tells you. But we can have as many observation beds, people in beds as we need to. So it's a little unique. It is true we did it for financial reasons. Normally community hospitals suffer because most of our reliance is on the government, whether it's federal or state, and we have to focus on things that will help us stay viable. And that was one of the reasons why we did it. So it helped us grow our primary care is what it really did. So we could have more primary care services. But I appreciate the question. The goal will be, depending on what the federal government does in the future with Medicare and Medicaid, we'll keep our eye on that. And we'll keep focused to make sure that we can provide services to the community. We do believe a lot of services will be provided outside the inpatient setting, though. We believe that it will expand in the outpatient world. So thank you for the question.
I just want to say, I've always had wonderful experiences at that hospital. Yeah, I was born there, and it's kind of the reason we moved back to this area, because my partner needed to have a hospital nearby. And I really appreciate you guys for being here and all you do for our community.
Thank you. And I tell people, I get served at the hospital. I can go anywhere, but I'd rather have the doctors, the nurses that work in that facility work on me than anywhere else. So thank you for your time. Like I said, more than happy to answer questions. You can call up at the hospital, ask for me. Or you can social media, Chris and Crystal answer them too. We'll get back to you. Thank you a lot and have a great evening. Thank you for the time.
Thank you. Thanks. All right, now we're moving to public comments, and remember you have 3 minutes to talk, and please be kind if you can. Start off with your name and your ward or your address, if you would.
Hello, everyone. Janice Robbie. Ooh, sorry. There we go. Now we're on. Janice Robbie. I am one of the librarians with Timberland Regional Library. Today, I am going to talk to you about World Music Day. As I'm sure a lot of you know, it is next Saturday, June 21st, and it's an all-day event. The library is going to have events all day long. From the moment we open until we close, we have something going on. For the kiddos, we're going to have DIY art projects, like little music makers, like egg shakers and little tambourines that you can color and draw on. Upstairs in our meeting room in the morning from 10 until noon, we will be having a record swap. This one's really a self-serving program, but you can bring all of the records that maybe you don't really listen to anymore. We will have 2 record players on hand to make sure that things are playing. Also, it's just a way to connect with other people who really enjoy vinyl in town. And maybe you'll find a new favorite band or get rid of some stuff that you no longer want. And then from 12:30 until 1:30, we have the Salmon Berry Band coming again. They will be doing their everything you need to know about ukulele program. They'll also have a couple for people to try as well. And then we flip the room again from, let's see, yeah, that's to 1:30. 2 until 3:30, we have historian Peter Blecha coming. He will be discussing his book and his talk, The Untold History of Pacific Northwest Rock and Roll, which is pretty cool. And then we reset the room again to close out the day. We have a number of tote bags that have the World Music Day logo on them. And we're going to have like fabric markers and other puffy paint stuff for people to take home a complimentary souvenir if you come to the library. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else?
Good evening, Jim Minkler, Ward 4. I want to just give a shout out to the City of Aberdeen's volunteers. I know, and I want to thank you, the council. I know you work very hard trying to meet a lot of needs with a very limited budget. And the City of Aberdeen, of course, struggles a little bit with the monetary issues, but I'm just here to say we are so rich, though, with the people that we have, the volunteerism that you see, people that are committed to community service. I'm here also representing History 98520. And we were at the farmer's market, and Scott stopped by our booth, and we were commemorating the 7-year anniversary of the Armory fire. So it's been 7 years without the museum, but we've been able to stay active because of our volunteers. Some of our volunteers are junior high students. Thanks to Aberdeen School District that has a requirement for community service for their seniors. And so this community is just so volunteer oriented. Scott, you probably noticed during the farmer's market, there weren't a whole lot of people there Saturday. And, you know, they changed from Sundays to Saturdays. But of those few people that were there, so many of them stopped by and chatted with us. And I think we got 12 new volunteers just from being there at the farmer's market. But whether it's volunteering for the food bank or youth organizations or like serving on the council, everywhere you look, this community is so rich in our volunteers. We've logged 178 hours at the Warehouse Museum this last month, as well as 158 hours at our micro museum, actually the office that's in the Art Center. So we're seeing just a lot of volunteerism, and we couldn't exist without our volunteers. So thank you for what you do, and thank all of the Aberdeen volunteers, because we are rich in that regard. Thanks.
Thank you. Is there anybody else who'd like to make a comment?
Hey, Kara Mayer with Ward 4. I wasn't gonna say anything, but this just came to mind. Georgia parking enforcement, I don't know what the process is within the city, but he needs to be recognized. He is doing a really great job with taking care of parking issues. There was a couple issues that I called him about this week, where cars were parked too close to corners, making it really hard to get out and make left-hand turns. And he, I literally called him, went into the bank, came out and drove by, and he was already there. So he's doing a fantastic job. And if there's a way to recognize him for that, I highly recommend doing it. Because kudos. Yeah. Anyway, that's all. Thanks.
Thank you. Is there any other comments? All right, we'll close the public comment period, and we'll move on to the consent agenda with Council President Swart.
Motion to approve tonight's consent agenda, which includes minutes from the May 28th meeting, accounts payable and payroll in the amount of $4,086,075.21, including check numbers 26248 through 26269, 89832 through 89974, and wires 1875 through 1880.
Second.
Is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Aye. All right, don't really have a mayor's report. I apologize, but be careful when you're driving down Market Street, because there's a lot of work being done right now. And I think some people may not be familiar with the bags over the stop signs and that kind of stuff. So just being really cautious when you're driving on Market Street. That also applies to Sumner Avenue too. It's be really patient. It maybe takes an extra minute waiting in traffic, so just be patient. And that's it. Use sunscreen. I know we just had our summer. You missed it if you weren't here. All right. So council reports. Do any council members would like to make a council personnel?
Yes, so World Music Day, the Seaport will be hosting events. And also on our agenda today will be
voting to approve Susan Ogilvy as a new board member. And we're really lucky to have her on the board. She's very talented with art things and social media things. And so hopefully she'll be voted on officially this evening. Thank you.
Anyone else? Oh, Councilperson Francie.
Well, I took part in the museum collection committee, as well as attended the ADA crossing meeting that the city put on. And I found out that usually cities have about 4% of safe crossings. And our city is actually at 39% of our crossings. Yeah. Great. And also took part in the town hall. It's a great experience.
All right, thanks. Yeah, the town hall was really good last night. We're gonna have some more of those in the future, and I encourage everybody to get anybody they know to come to them, because it really was nice. Any other council folks? No? All right, let's go on to staff reports and Administrator Clements.
Thank you, Mayor. We had a visit from the executive director from the Timberland Regional Library a couple weeks ago. We were taking tours of different buildings, vacant buildings that could be considered for a temporary spot for the library while it's under construction. So more information to come as we kind of make our decision of what building probably suits us best. Thanks to Mr. Emmert, who showed us buildings, as well as CAP. They had some buildings for us to look at. That's nice. I sent an email out to candidates and I've already met with a couple of them. So in the next month, I plan to meet with most of the people who are running for just office, just to give them a rundown and information on the city and budget information and things like that, so that they go into their candidacy prepared. So again, that was extended to all candidates that are running for office. I do have a piece on here that I wanted to engage in a conversation and possibly get a motion from all of you. I had spoken to Mayor Orr, and we thought it would be wise to open it to all of you to get your feedback on and consideration, and possibly a vote tonight for the direction that, that aligns with the council's priorities and goals. One of the things that we looked at, as I know the survey came out, the homeless survey came out, but operationally, we think like the city has a really good process when it comes to homelessness, and we've really done a lot to address the issue, at least within our city. We also believe like we don't have any of the funding, but the county has a lot of the funding. And the county has a really great task force that has been dedicated to focus on homelessness and addressing the impacts of it. The city also has a need I'm hearing more of a desire from all of you to focus on economic development. So I would like to propose to all of you, and again, this is all based on the mayor's, the mayor has the final say in all of this, but I would like to propose several things, a few things to all of you. I would like to propose to move the homeless committee to an ad hoc committee instead of meeting regularly on a quarterly basis. I've already spoken to Councilmember Pericini about this as well, and she was fine with that. Considering that the county has a very robust group that's meeting, and we already have Councilmember Morrison on there, and I would like to recommend that the council officially name Councilmember Morrison as the city's representative on that particular committee. And with that, and the reason for kind of moving that away from that particular committee is because I wanted to see if the council would be open to creating a economic development committee in its place. I just don't want to keep adding committee after committee, on top of other committees, and turn our focus to the committees that we want to turn our focus to. So I just want to open it up for discussion for all of you and consideration.
Alice,
Is, Councilmember Morrison in support of such a,
So I'll be really frank. I know that my position on that committee has caused heartburn in the past. And so I did propose to Administrator Clemens that if the mayor and the council were not comfortable with having me be the city's voice on the task force, that an additional option could be that when we have our quarterly meeting, that I could maybe present to the task force the idea of opening up another seat for the city of Aberdeen for that purpose. You guys could choose amongst yourself someone else that you find suitable to represent the city in that capacity. That said, I am comfortable and very willing to represent the city with the city of Aberdeen's views and not my own. That's always been my goal. Never wavered from that, even though my opinion has often differed. I'm here to represent the city. So it's up to you guys, but yes, I'm for it.
Yeah, well, I'd just like to say it, if you're for it, I'm for it. Yeah, I know that you're really, it's something that you care a lot about, so I think that'd be a great choice.
I'm confident in Councilman Morris's ability to represent the city of Aberdeen very well with the county.
I concur that, it's wise to switch the nature of the homeless committee to ad hoc. It's been a while since we've met and I agree that county is probably better able to, assist at this point. And I also would support Councilmember Morrison being the formal representative of council on that committee.
Somebody want to make a motion?
It sounds like we need three. I was just trying to take some notes. Motion to move the homeless committee to an ad hoc committee. Second.
Is there any discussion on this now? No? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Yes.
A motion to name Councilmember Morrison as our representative for Aberdeen on the county homeless committee. Second.
Is there any discussion on this now? No? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, thank you.
So, one last, just, as far as economic development goes, I just wanted feedback again, the mayor is the final say on this particular committee, but, you know, ideally, we would have like representatives from the council, from the community, from the business community. So, I just wanted to hear if there was a specific number of seats you felt the council needed to have represented on there.
On the ad hoc committee?
On the, economic development.
Economic development, okay, yeah.
Two, maybe three.
Okay.
Is that fair? Or do we want one? I think more is better.
More is better,
Yeah. Do you need a motion to have staff bring us like options to consider? Sure, I can bring back options for, I don't need a motion for that. I can do Okay, great, thank you. that. Yeah, and then we'll formally put it together and, okay.
And it would be good to hear, how many other positions or representatives you have in mind.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other for you, Director Clemens, or are you?
No, thank you, Mayor.
Okay. Or Administrative Programs? Are there any directors that would like to, directors?
Thank you. It's that time of year again, so I'm just gonna do my spiel. It's election time, election signs. Please, no election signs in any city property and city right of ways in front of city properties. If you do put your signs in on property, make sure you get permission from the owner, including in front of the owner's property. So just a reminder, it's that time of year.
Thank you. Any other directors? Nope. All right, we'll move on. Now we'll go on to, request for council action. Finance chair. Who is the finance chair? Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I don't have it on my list.
We have a resolution delegating authority to the city administrator to sign agreements and other necessary paperwork for the city of Aberdeen regarding 118 West Wishkah. I move that we approve this.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion on this?
Could you elaborate? Is this gonna be like for all future agreements that have to do with the museum or just like a particular subject? Yeah, I think this is mostly for the anything with regarding commerce, funding. It just makes it easier to just get me to sign it because I'm already working on it, so. Thank you.
Any other? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Now we'll move on to public safety with Chairperson Perugini.
And we have for reports a request recommending the city council approve the EMS agreement between the city of Aberdeen and Washington State Department of Children, Youth and Families. I move that we adopt this report. Second.
It's been moved and seconded to adopt this report. Is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Thank you.
Next, we have a request recommending the city council approve the surplus of police vehicle 393. And the reason why is it has a blown engine. And I move that we adopt this report. Second.
Is there any discussion on this? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Okay, now we'll go to Public Works with Chairperson Francie.
All right, we've got 6 items on ordinance as well. First off, we've got a request recommending the city council authorize the mayor to sign the MOU with Utilities and Transportation Commission, authorizing participation in the commission's rail safety program. I move that we accept this.
Second.
Is there any discussion? No? All in favor?
Aye.
Our second item is a request recommending the city council authorize staff to put out to bid the demolition of 209 West Wishkah. I move that we accept this report.
Second.
Is there any discussion on this?
Just for clarification, that's the old Rockies, U-Bake Pizza building downtown.
Councilperson Ellis.
Thank you, Mayor. And also that this is just authorizing staff to put out to bid. Once bids come back, it'll come back to us to make a next decision.
Any more?
I just had a real quick question for Director Scott, just for the benefit of the public. What happens to that property after, hypothetically, we go ahead and demo it? What's the next steps after that?
So typically what happens is we put a lien on the property and it sits there till it either gets sold and paid or it comes up for back taxes at that point. What we found recently with a lot of our lien programs is the county is not collecting them. So Director Clemens, myself, we met with on her direction, we met with the county to talk about that. So what we're exploring right now, I think Administrator Clemens is working with our legal team. And we're looking at doing foreclosing on the liens so that we would take ownership of the property so that we can at least control the property that we have, invested in, so to speak.
How long has the county not been collecting on those?
Maybe 8 years.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Okay, and our third item is a request recommending the city council authorize the mayor to sign a contract with the Maresco for energy efficiency solutions and savings for city facilities. I move that we accept this report.
Second.
Has been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion on this?
I need to step out, so that my firm is subcontracting at rest.
Okay. Is there any other discussion? Speaking about, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Our fourth item is a request recommending the city council authorize the purchase of the Ravo street sweeper using equipment rental reserve fund. I move that we accept this request.
Second.
Is there any discussion on getting the new street sweeper? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Our fifth item is request recommending the city council authorize the purchase and installment of 2 air compressors for the water treatment plant with a budget not to exceed $150,000. I move that we accept this request.
Second.
Is there any discussion on this?
Just a correction, I heard 150, but I see 155.
150.
No further discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, our sixth.
Wait.
Our sixth item is a request recommending the city council allow the city to issue a credit on the account of Becky Stuckey for the amount of $3,564.77 for additional water charges, late fees, and disconnection fees incurred by the customer because of a city leak that was not repaired in a timely manner. I move that we accept this request.
Second.
Just before we go on with this, was there anybody not in favor of the last vote? Thank you, it carries.
Sorry.
Okay, now we have a first and a second on this. Is there any discussion? No. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Right, our last thing is a resolution adopting a revised and extended 6-year transportation improvement plan, including proposed improvements to the street for which arterial funds and federal funds will be expended for the years 2026 to 2031. I move that we adopt this resolution.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Is there any discussion other than 6 was spelled wrong? But
Yeah.
any other discussion?
I will no longer be on council. And it's been a pleasure to, work on transportation projects. And I hope that still in my lifetime, I'll be able to see and realize some of these projects being completed. But projects take time, from the planning to the funding to the implementation stage. And there are many good projects on this list, and hopefully with discretionary funds, we can start to chip away at some of the important repairs that need doing in our city. Thank you.
Is there any other discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries.
This will be resolution 2025-08.
All right, thank you. And now we'll move on to special agenda items with Council President Swarth.
Yes, under reports, we have a request recommending the city council approve the Historic Preservation Commission's recommendation to add the 4 listed properties to the local historic register. I move we adopt this report.
Second.
Any discussion on this? All in favor?
I,
Opposed?
Next, we have a request recommending the city council adopt the MOU between the city of Aberdeen and the IAFF Local 315 Central Grace Harbor Professional Firefighters effective immediately. I move we adopt this report.
Second.
Is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
I,
Opposed?
Under ordinances, we have the third and final passage of Bill 2025-06, an ordinance relating to Code of Ethics, amending AMC Chapter 2.24. I move we accept this third reading.
Second.
Okay, we've had a first and a second. Is there any discussion on this? No, so we get a roll call vote?
Yes.
I have my hand up.
Oh, okay, go ahead, sorry.
I just wanted to say that I think that the committee worked really hard on this document. But I'm gonna be voting no tonight on it just because I think that it's not ready for code. I feel it's about 95% there, just with the last portion of the penalties. It just doesn't clearly describe what action causes what penalty, in my opinion. And I have stressed a few times in meetings that I thought it wasn't ready. And I was given the answer that it was so that we could have it ready for the next batch of council members coming in. And I would like it to be clear because when we're not there to explain it to them, I would like it to be a clear definition of what is to happen in these circumstances. Because as of right now, even being the one who was helped create it, I don't understand what happens to someone or what action would result in what consequence. So I would like to see it go back and be worked on some more. I do have confidence in, like I said, about 95% of the document. I just don't feel it's ready for code.
I agree with David on this. I feel like that there's still some vagueness there and I'm unsure about what action would be taken. I think it's very important for council members to feel free to share their concerns, and sometimes we don't necessarily agree with each other, but I think that we need to be respectful, but we need to be able to share things that we're concerned about and be open about that and open with our constituents. So I'm not certain on it as well and feel uncertain because of things that I've witnessed in the past. So I will have to vote no as well.
Is there any more?
Yeah, I got mine up one more time. I forgot to mention as well that during the process of complaint, when it comes to committee for vote, it was my understanding that there won't be very much information provided on even what the circumstances were. It'll just be that the committee had found someone guilty of an ethics violation, and then we would just be deciding their fate in a blind type of manner. And I wasn't quite comfortable with that either. Even I could see where it could work, but I also have problems with it. But I just really think this needs a few more meetings to really stamp out the parts that aren't clear.
Okay. Is there any other discussion? All in favor? Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, go ahead.
I think that the committee put forth a lot of effort to meet regularly in between the readings that we've had for this change. A lot of the vague language was removed, and a lot of the language as to what happens exactly when a report is filed is included in that document.
Okay, thank you. All right, all in favor?
This is a roll call.
Oh, I'm sorry, yeah.
Ellis,
Yes.
Francie,
Yes.
Aiken?
No.
Hodgkin,
No.
Hubbard,
Yes.
Lawrence,
No.
Mackey,
Yes.
Morrison,
No.
Pericini,
Yes.
Prado,
Yes.
Swore,
Yes.
Taylor,
No.
Uh, vote passes 7-5. This will be ordinance 6726.
Thank you.
One more for special agenda items. We have an appointment to the Grays Harbor Historical Seaport Board for Susan Ogilvy. I move we adopt this appointment.
Second.
Is there any discussion on this? No, all in favor,
Aye.
I,
opposed? Congratulations. Now we're gonna go back to public comments. If anybody would like to, start off with your name and your address or ward, and then, keep it to 3 minutes, and please be civil. Nobody? Here we go.
Mayor Meredith, Ward 4. I hate being the one that has to be outspoken, but I guess it's my calling in life. I've been following what's going on with what you just did with this Bill 2025-06 and your ethics codes that you've just written, and I will hope that you'll use it very rarely and judiciously and not vindictively after what I've seen the council do in the last year and a half. And I think you all know what I'm talking about, so I'll just leave it at that. I think that people on the council expressed concerns with it tonight that were warranted and should have been considered, and I don't see what the rush was. And so it's the rush. So that's all.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, now go on to the good of the order. Does anybody have anything for the good of the order? No?
Actually, I think a reminder would be good. I don't think that we meet before this, but there's they have 2 Aberdeens cleanup on the 20th. I don't think that we meet, before then, so just a reminder for people. What time was it, Josh, that we're supposed to be at City Hall?
10 o'clock to noon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. That's even.
There is a budget workshop on Wednesday, just, yeah. So, yeah, thank you though for the reminder on the World Music Day.
Okay, anything else for the good of the order? No. All right. Like, we're gonna go into executive session.
Yeah, so motion for us to go into executive session for up to 20 minutes. Action is not anticipated after the executive session. The purpose of the executive session is in accordance with RCW 42.30.110 to consider the selection of a site or the acquisition of real estate by lease or purchase when public knowledge regarding such consideration would cause a likelihood of increased price.
Motion to adjourn.
Hold it for, all in favor of reconvening. Aye. All right,
Motion to adjourn.
okay. Second, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, goodbye, everybody. Thank you for coming.
Good night.
Leave yet?
Right side.
Okay.
Very good. Keep stretching. Stretching.
Yeah.
All right. You'll get it up there. Okay, don't forget your stuff. So you have to look for it on the vision. Of course. Oh, I'm so excited. Are you kidding me? What? Oh.